All right, so as you can see, I'm inside of the tent. This is the one that we unboxed from Temu. How good can it be? How bad can it be? To see if it was really an all-season, four-season tent. I didn't believe it was then. I don't believe it was now. But I've got some stuff out here. We're going to see how long we can last. So as you can probably tell from some of the videos so far, I'm not really out in the woods anywhere or at a campground. I'm in my backyard. Safety first. I do not have cold weather camping gear. I'm just going to hang out, see how well it holds the temperature, and see how well it holds up against the snow. That being said, I have electricity running from the house. I have a heater. We talked about this in a safety video a little while back, and this has a tip over switch. So very important, because if you're in here sleeping and I knock over the tent, it's going to turn it off. It's not going to catch it on fire. Now, another thing that's important with having that little heater in this tent is you don't want it to sit on this nylon or whatever kind of material this is. One of my favorite gadgets I bought, this little camping table. And so I will put it on there and not be on the ground. So I've ordered an infrared thermometer and it hasn't come in yet. But I'm using this meat thermometer because I'm also making a video about smoking meat in the snow. So we can see, I don't know how accurate it really is because it's a probe, but we're at about 30 degrees. Still snowing fairly good. All right, so a quick tour of inside the tent here. It could probably be spread out a little more. I don't have it pulled very tight. Here's the heater with the stove I was telling you about. I brought a jackery to charge my phone. I have a light for when it gets dark later. I did bring a camping cot, although I don't think I'm going to set it up. Tripod. It's a little mat that goes under that when we use it in our RV. I brought a camping chair in here, and I don't really know if I need that. And I have a sleeping bag. So we're going to run the heater for a little bit and see how it gets up to temperature, if it does get up to temperature, and then how well will it hold it. Here's one of the things that I talked about that I did not like with the tent, and it didn't make sense to me when I did the initial review. So right here is the cover for the windows. You cannot open or close that flap from the inside. It's both on the outside. Makes no sense to me at all. Privacy, I mean, you're as private as you can be until some weirdo at the campground comes by and pulls up your little flap there and takes a peek at you. Another thing I do like about this tent is the double doors. So I've got the heater over there, the jackery over there. Things that I don't want to disrupt are off to that side. So I can actually leave on this side of the tent and not mess with anything over there. If I were to set up that camping chair, I would set it back over here in the corner. If I was to lay out the sleeping bag and stuff, I may just, you know, put it right across there also and just use this door as opposed to that one. So that's a big plus compared to a lot of other tents. The double doors, I really like that. This is my current view from inside the tent. You'll see it's snowing pretty good. So I know it's not scientific and accurate. You saw where I used the meat thermometer outside a while ago for it to be about 30 degrees. Inside the tent right now, according to the meat thermometer probe, it is about 50 degrees. The heater is starting to put out some warm air. We're not going to sit here and watch the thermometer, but it has gone up a few degrees in here. We were at about 50 earlier, and right now we're about 55, 56, and that's been in about 10 minutes time. All right, it's getting darker, it's getting cooler. Time to head back in this bad mamma jamma and check things out. It's a little dark right now, but I got that light. All right, so it is definitely warmer in here than it is outside, of course. The heater is still going strong. Concerned about how long that heater would have to run to keep this thing warm, because if this was insulated better, I think it would be a lot warmer in here right now. Could I sleep in this thing? I probably could if I had a, you know, a better rated sleeping bag, maybe some wool socks. Definitely would have to be dressed better to be more warm. What comes into play here is I just watched it flap up, how we can't close up the windows. So that's part of a problem there. If I wanted to actually use this thing to sleep in when it was cold, I probably have to find a way to duct tape some plastic to those windows or something. It is just after sundown and it is still, you can probably hear it. The snow has changed over to sleet. It's supposed to change back over to heavy snow here in about a half an hour or so. All right, so it's nighttime. It has dropped in temperature a pretty good amount. Definitely warmer in the tent than outside. Not a cold weather tent. I've said it I don't know how many times. Sitting here running this heater for hours. I know it's safe for indoor use, but what kind of fumes or chemicals or whatever is this thing giving off? Who only knows? Maybe nothing. But it's probably not safe to sit here in a small tent with a electric heater on full blast all night. Overall, probably a spring, summer tent, maybe early fall like we talked about. Definitely not a winter tent. I said it was 4 seasons. I knew it wasn't 4 seasons, but I wanted to do it anyway to kind of see what it was like, you know, kind of dabble with it, maybe be surprised. But overall, it's still a $25 tent from Temu. I would put the link in the description, but anytime I've ever done that, the links are dead. They've got a bunch of them on the website. Just try to find one that you like. Definitely go up a level or two, you know. I'm pretty sure the $20 tents aren't going to be spectacular. I did not expect it to be spectacular, but I was curious.